Hello, my name is Ofmara, and the topic I chose for my final project were the two earthquakes that hit Mexico City in 1995 and 2017. First of all, I chose this topic because I wanted to compare and contrast these two events that were very catastrophic for the city, and also because I wanted to know more about the reactions that Mexicans had after the event. For example, if they had learned something from the first experience and therefore acted in a different way, or if their actions were the same. The first earthquake happened on September 19, 1995 at 7:19 a.m. It has been the strongest earthquake in the history of the city, with a magnitude of 8.1 degrees in the Richter magnitude scale. The official number of deaths given by the government were 3,000. However, the calculations made by other organizations indicated more than 20,000 deaths. The video on your right shows a fragment from the news conducted by Lourdes Guerrero. The building in Televisa fell down while they were still transmitting live. Many important buildings fell down, including the Regis Hotel, Televisa Chapultepec, the Juarez Hospital, several buildings that belong to the government, among others. One of the sources I used was the narration that the journalist Jacobo Zabludovsky did with his phone while he was driving in his car. He was one of the few citizens at the time who had a cell phone in their car. The government was very criticized for its slow response and for denying other countries their help. It took several years to rebuild, but on the bright side, many actions were taken after that. For example, new rules for the construction of buildings, protocols for evacuating and to respond at an emergency, new instruments to study earthquakes, etc. The second earthquake happened on the same date but 32 years later, at 1:14 p.m. The city, hours earlier, realized a simulacrum. However, there were many people that didn't follow instructions. The difference with this earthquake was that Mexicans now had the help of the seismic alert that gives them a few seconds or even a minute in some cases to evacuate. Nevertheless, there were many people that didn't follow instructions. For example, the video on the top right corner shows how the neighbors of the building didn't go to a safe zone, causing many deaths when it fell down. The video on the bottom shows the slow evacuation many people did. The final number of deaths was 370 people, and the number of buildings that fell down was also way smaller than the first earthquake. One of the buildings that fell was the Repsamen school where 25 people died, mostly kids, and also a part of the college Tec de Monterrey. What I learned. One of the things I learned or realized is that Mexicans acted quickly, and this time they were more prepared. We had better equipment, and the generations that lived the first earthquake knew how they were able to help this time. The government sent the Mexican army to the streets to help. Also, more than 24 countries like Japan, France, Argentina, Canada, the United States, and many others helped in several ways. Some of them sent engineers and rescuers, while others sent resources of all kinds. Also, another thing that I learned is that even in dark times, solidarity was one of the values that was present all of the time. The book Estamos de Pie has 50 different anecdotes that prove this argument. Among the stories, there is one that talks about a little girl that donated a lot of individual plastic bags with dog food, and each one of them included a drawing of a dog. There were stories of men that donated materials from their own stores, people that delivered water and food to the volunteers and rescuers, and the list of good actions continues. The next images are just some examples of how the optimism and goodwill of the Mexicans persevered throughout both earthquakes. I believe that my digital project is a good way to learn this topic because it has several visual examples of what happened that may help the audience be more responsible for future events like this. Also, the basic information is synthesized in order to make it easy and quickly to understand. What I want my classmates to live with is that from every tragedy we learn and we can be prepared for the next one. But the most important thing I learned is that whether or not we are prepared for a tragedy, Mexico responds with optimism and solidarity. We help each other and try our best to move forward. We can count with each other, and as the book I mentioned before says, this is a perfect proof that Mexico can become a great country with just the strength of their people. Thank you.